Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of YouthBuzz. Well, it's another week, and as I promised, I'm going to introduce a new format of the YouthBuzz podcast, which is named Podcast React. So, how does it work? Like the podcast React. The podcast React basically works we're gonna have discussions that we can produce from content that we have on social media. So it's going to be something interesting. I prefer not to talk too much, give too much details about what we want to do, but better than give details is present to you guys. And before we present this new format, I want to bring someone. I want to introduce someone that is new to the podcast, is a friend of us, and is here to participate in this new format. We're gonna have a very good talk, a very good discussion, right?
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
without taking so much long, I would like you to introduce yourself. Please, how you doing? Everything, how many children do you have? You see, yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Bosile Tando Modise, and I'm a student here at YouthBuzz. I guess that's what I can actually tell you
Which
for
YouthBuzz,
now.
by the way?
YouthBuzz Midrand.
Oh, okay. I thought
To be
it was
specific,
Pretoria one,
yeah,
so
no.
I don't know, so.
It's Midrand. Yeah,
So, how are you feeling? Is everything alright with you?
everything is okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a good day, so everything is fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Now,
am.
remember, if you always need something, you're always free to call for help.
Yes, that's true. That's true, and it's fine.
Yeah,
Thank you
you're
so
always
much.
free to do that. We're also kind of therapists, if you didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, my friend of mine and I were also very good at dealing with these situations.
It's good to know.
Yes.
And you know what? Thank you so much for offering, and I'll keep that in mind.
I don't think we're gonna be a great help. We are going to be a good listen, actually. So yeah, and that's because some people they say having someone that can listen to our problem is therapeutic. That's us. We're not gonna say nothing. You're gonna say that's crazy. You see, wow, this is amazing.
That's just too much.
Just give up. Yeah, I'll say things like that.
I actually felt like also talking about things and just offloading makes everything better,
Okay.
I guess.
You
So,
guess?
yeah.
Okay. No, but that's great. That's great. Opening up. Always.
But that's crazy. If I hear it from you, I'll know what you're doing. I'll know what you're doing. So, no, I won't come.
No, but that doesn't mean nothing. You see, for example,
That's crazy.
people can be good at different things, different tasks. They are different skills, just because I'm doing one thing doesn't mean I'm not good at other thing, you see. But the same thing, just because you're good, what are you studying?
Become accountant.
Doesn't mean that you wouldn't be a good doctor. Okay, I wouldn't try that. I'm sorry. You wouldn't
No,
be.
no. That's very far off.
Yeah, very far
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
Okay. But people can have different skills, Depending on the level, people can be good at both. You feel me? I don't know if I'm
which
making
is
sense.
true. Yeah, I'm actually into psychology now.
Mm-hmm.
I have an interest in how the human mind works.
Okay, you're gonna talk about this now.
Soccer.
Yeah, but there is some speaking about what I was just checking, one of these days just procrastinating
Yes.
as usual on social media. I noticed something interesting, because I saw basically I think it was three it was three posts from one Success Inspiration Academy on Instagram. The other one was Cool Story. The third person just crossing to my mind right now. But I've seen something unusual nowadays, lately, on
Like
last
a
years.
trend.
That I wouldn't say a trend, but it's becoming basically more common nowadays. You see, for example, 20 years ago, when you would hear about Chinese cars, people would say Chinese car is trash, don't buy this, they don't last and all that. But nowadays I'm seeing a lot of posts speaking about Chinese car being a threat to the market, and we can also it is important to remind that nowadays, mainly in Africa, but I just focus mostly in South Africa, we are experiencing great acquisitions of Chinese cars. A lot of people are actually buying Chinese cars.
And to actually add on that, I've actually been seeing a lot of them on the road. And there's one that has captured my heart, obviously. And his name is Omoda. I feel
Omoda.
like what intrigued me about it is that, if I'm not mistaken, there's one model that has a refrigerator inside.
Refrigerator?
Yes.
Dang, that's crazy.
And another thing is that we have a misconception that Asian cars are like, no, they don't work or whatever. I think it's a misconception or a generalization that has been put on China itself.
Yeah.
You know, that it's cheap, that they sell cheap stuff. But if you only knew that Mazda,
Yeah.
Kia, Honda, Toyota Corolla, they're Asian cars.
Like in speaking about like Chinese car,
Yeah.
yeah, and I agree with your point. But that's what I was checking like on the comments. People were complaining. Some people they were saying like Chinese car are like basically can generate more unemployment in this country because there is no like manufacturers like of Chinese car here, so everything comes from China. So people were saying like owning a Chinese car is you basically impact negatively to the market. Other people they were saying that Chinese car they are still trash. We still need to see for time, and I could also see other people saying that Chinese car are actually the future, they're actually the future and people should look into that. So I wanted to know, which side are you?
I feel like it's not tricky because there are some, I'm a person who just goes with what works for me.
Yeah.
Right. Another thing that I've noticed as well, I'll answer your question, but another thing that I've noticed as well is that the sales of the well-known brands
Yes.
have gone down. Yeah,
Yes,
they've dropped.
Yes.
Because of the sale of the Asian cars. And I'm actually thinking, oh my gosh, what's really going on? Because I saw the revenue, the report of the revenue from Audi, Mercedes-Benz, and BMW, right?
Yeah.
The revenue went down because people are preferring all of these things because they're also cost effective.
Yeah.
You understand? And where do I fall? I think what actually works for you, because I'm a person who is economically minded. So if something makes financial sense, if let's say the car that is given by like an Asian car compared to a Mercedes-Benz that I would buy, the benefits are different.
Yeah.
No, they're the same, but it has a different name. It's the benefits that I want to buy.
Okay.
So I'll go for it.
So you're down for it. You're not against like the trending.
Down.
Not down. So you're the mind to get like
I would not. In fact, they can sponsor me. Yeah.
Nah, that's a very deep thing you also say, and I actually kind of agree with you. But like me actually, I'm not against any car, any brand car,
Yeah.
know. As long as you follow on the right way, you follow on the law, you're doing everything right. I'm not against it, because speaking about this like basically we're speaking about like this content. I see a lot of people, they get worried about like the fact that BMW, Volkswagen, Mercedes, Porsche, they basically dropping, I love these brands. I love German engineering. Like I'm a big fan, of German engineering. But I'm also like a person who believe in the market competitions. I believe in that because people are complaining about the fact that they are dropping, but we cannot forget that none of these big brands that are in Africa in general, they are brands from Africa. So every car brand is like a foreign brand. So when people sometimes they say like the benefits or not, people sometimes they don't think until this point. They don't get to the point that okay, these are all foreign brands that are trying to get our attention. They are trying to get like our consumption activities for them, So at the end of the day, if it's not like something that really is like impacting like something that is national, I don't think is a China cars are like a problem, And as you say, Omoda has been making some great car. And something that I like about Chinese car is like they make affordable ones but looking expensive.
Yes.
That's what a lot of people like because I've seen like some people they were making complaints about, you see, for example, the cheap cars from Hyundai, Toyota. I love Toyota for life. I love it because
It's actually good quality.
reliable, you know. But for example, a lot of people, they complain about the cheap Toyota, you see, because they don't like how it looks, you know, because it looks like cheap. And you know, people don't like to look cheap. They're stingy, but they don't want to look cheap.
I think it goes with the saying like, dress, like you dress to impress people, or dress you the way you dress.
Yeah.
You know, you dress to impress. And it's just all about the first impression for people.
You see?
Yeah.
People don't really care nowadays in this economy that is like affecting every place. Nowadays, people are not too worried about, they're more worried about like having something cheap but look good looking. So if they stand a chance to get this, they'll get it without thinking twice, you know? So I think like for the brands that are competing, they should just invest a bit more, you know, if they don't want to stay behind, because the market was always like that. Because if you look behind, we can see like, for example, on 70s, Toyota used to be a threat to Americans. I mean, like Toyota is on ruin the market and all that. You see, same thing happened with Hyundai, you know, foreign brands, you know. But nowadays, nobody's saying Toyota is this, is that. You know, so I think like about the Chinese car, people should give more opportunity to at least experience that, you see. So that's just how I feel. But that's my impression about that, you know. So, but what would you bring? What else would you bring, like about Chinese impact here?
Chinese impact.
What else would you bring?
Okay, I feel like they're cost effective, obviously. And for a person who thinks like monetarily, you want to save, you want to invest, you want to do whatever. When you go and you look at the things on Shein versus the things on, I can't name, you know, because I love my South African brand.
But you can say it. You can just mention, you know.
Like let's say for Shein versus Shein.
Shein versus Shein.
You understand?
Now,
let's say for Shein versus Shein.
Oh,
you understand?
Okay,
you can get the same, let's say the same.
But for Shein is a bit more expensive, right?
It is. Yeah. It is. You can get the same, let's say, suit, right?
Yeah.
At Shein for a lesser amount.
Okay.
And if you've budgeted, like prioritize your clothing, the way you look, you'd actually go for Shein. So I think Asians, they benefit because people are attracted to things that are quality and they cost less. Yeah. And when you actually look at the things that we use on a day, let's say our cutlery, our, let's say, even the things that we use to in our everyday life. You understand? Made in China.
Okay.
It's from
Everything's
China.
Made in China.
Everything.
Our phones, everything.
Our clothes.
Imagine.
Our clothes made in China.
You see? Everything, literally.
And some of them
even
are
myself, I think so.
Oh my God. I don't think so. I don't think so. But like, to be honest, China has a great impact in the things that we actually have and we own.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I think that's just what we have to, and I think I need to break this generalization to be like, things from China are fake. No. It depends on where you buy them and for how much. Yeah. If you want something for 5 rands and you expect quality for 200 rands, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I mean, that's true. That is true, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, like about this thing of price, this is true. Something I know about Chinese people. They're going to give you the price you ask.
Yes.
They give you the price you ask.
They give you.
If you want something expensive, they're going to give you as well. They're going to give you the price you want.
Oh my gosh. Like, it just reminds me of these, I can't say wig influencers, but I've seen them online, right?
Yeah.
There's that sound, so what na dematine. And then the wig is like, you know, and you're like, how much did you buy it for? You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Like, wow, that's crazy.
I'm just thinking, like, my guy, if you had like spent, let's say 500 rand instead of like 134 rand, you would have gotten a better weave.
You see, I understand. But you know, some people, they're still too associated with, like, you see, branding effects. You see, they're still too associated. That doesn't only affect clothing and cars, they are affecting everything, even brands like electronics and all that, you see. But I wanted to point something about the clothing industry, you see, because I was seeing like a video like here, this happened in South Africa. A lot of like fashion designers, they were complaining about the lack of protections, of their own brands because everyone is buying Shein. People are buying Shein. They are buying things from Temu. They are buying clothes, Chinese clothes. But they are not spending the more money on them, on national brands.
Yes.
People are not investing. I'm not sure if you invest in national brands, but there are a lot of people they don't invest in national brands. And it was complaining, and a lot of people they were complaining this was like basic like a China effect, and they should be protected. So I wanted to know what you think about it.
And I guess like my own view in that, I think that's the reason why they imposed the custom tax.
Yeah.
Is around the customs. They increased the customs, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
40%.
they did.
It's 40%, 45%.
Oh my gosh.
What's
and
like
people are
something like that?
complaining. So I feel like in a way it serves a purpose to be like, guys, do not look that direction, look to the side.
Yeah.
And another thing is that those people look at trends and they make trends, look at trends, and they deliver quality on trends.
Yeah.
Another thing, and I want to ask everyone is that, is our South African people or the fashion designers up to date with, I know that they're innovative and everything like that, but in order for you to sell a product to people, you have to also sample or research to see what is trendy at that moment.
Yeah.
You understand?
I understand.
And if people do not prefer buying something, get feedback on it and actually work on it. You understand? Maybe also lower the cost, maybe bait pricing, lower the cost, and maybe it will fix the issue.
Oh, so you're basically saying like the designers, they should like also like invest more in trying to catch up with like
yes,
big
research
brands
as
with like Sheins and all that.
That is my own opinion on that thing.
I mean, what you're saying like kind of makes sense because at the end of the day, market is market. I would tell you something. People can be nationalists, they can be like protective and all that, you see. But at the end of the day, people they want to choose the most convenient things to them.
Yes.
They don't really care. I mean, they don't really care about. I wouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people they don't care really about being national. I mean, they will care being national if it's good. If you're not good, they will leave it.
And another thing is that if other people are doing it, then why won't I do it?
You see
People
like your friend
prefer
like is dripping out back to back, and you there fighting with only clothes simply because this clothes is from. I only mentioned this. Yeah,
I didn't want to do that either.
It's repeating back to back the same clothes simply because it's from brand. You see, so people they tend to suffer pressure. There's this thing of pressure like from other people. Like doing this.
Speaking of pressure from other people, I saw this other comment section, right, where a guy left an opportunity to go study in China for a girlfriend. Like they were in a relationship. The girlfriend was like, if you leave, we're going to break up. And then later on, after he rejected the proposal or the scholarship, the girl, after 4 months, they broke up.
Wow, this is crazy. But well,
don't laugh.
I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be laughing, but the reason why I'm just laughing is just like it's reminding me of something. I have like a female friend of mine, back home, that she rejected like a bursary to study in Singapore, because she wasn't one of the best students. She rejected a bursary to go to Singapore because of her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was asking like, nah, stay with me, please, stay, and then she even helped his boyfriend like finish his degree, While she was staying there, only to find out that the boyfriend was cheating on her with another girl that he was in a relationship for 5 years. She was dating with the boyfriend for 3 years. But that girl, she was like the one from 5 years, like the first one, the big lady, first lady there. She was the second.
She was the girl that guy cheated on the first girl with.
Yeah. But she didn't go out. She didn't go to study because of him. Imagine.
How do you heal from that? How do you the regrets?
But this scenario is often, that in South Africa also often happens a lot. There was a guy also from Tweet that said that he got accepted by UCT, but because of his girlfriend, his girlfriend went to Wits. He decided not to go to UCT, go to Wits, and they broke up like 2 months later. She's the one who broke up actually.
Moment
She was
of
like, huh? So I want to know.
I'm so sorry. Yo,
but what do you think about
shame.
that? Do you think like people should sacrifice or not?
I don't think so. Another thing, I feel like when people prioritize what is good and what benefits them, and when their attention is on what matters most. Let's say you are in a relationship, right? And you're in the relationship for good things. Let's say it's for longevity, for what is good for you.
Yeah.
You as a partner, you need, I feel like those people were just not considerate for their partner because they know that these people can go further. And it's the insecurity that made them be like, sit here with me, stay here with me, only for them to break up next time. And I'm sure it's the people that told them to stay who initiated the breakup. Because why?
Yeah. But would you do that?
Hey, no.
Like in both
I
positions.
will not do that. I feel
Will
like
you stop like your
no,
partner from?
Because I feel like that partner, I would let them go. You understand? Go and explore.
If he's yours, he's gonna come back. Né?
He will come back. He must. And if he doesn't, I'm sure people will be like, I told you so. But I feel like just being if it's a like a relationship where it's like you guys understand each other's goals and understand what this is a big break, and you guys do have long life plans, and you guys talk about all of those stuff. You guys can encourage each other talking about that. You're gonna be in Singapore, you're gonna come back in 3 years, and you're gonna be what.
Honestly. It's 3 years a lot.
You wouldn't do that. I'm a
Someone
dreamer,
is there
so
doing the most while I'm waiting.
you have to. Okay, I feel another thing is that you have to be secure within yourself in order for you to trust the next person.
Okay.
So if you think that you are gonna do whatever, it also I think it goes twice.
But, okay.
In a way, I know who you are and I know what you're capable of, and I don't trust you. Ne? And there's another way of saying, I'm secure. I'm insecure myself.
Okay.
And I don't want you to go.
Okay.
You understand?
I kind of understand. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But,
you were saying?
But you believe in a long distance relationship? Will you be in one? Because you said like you the mind the person goes and
I would. I would.
You believe?
Yes.
Damn, that's crazy.
No,
but why?
You know why?
Yeah, why?
I think it's a strong sense of security within oneself, right?
Yeah.
Number one. Number two is life moves on. Like I feel like when you're in a relationship, you communicate everything with the partner. Not saying that it's wrong to communicate everything, right? But you communicate everything, and if that takes long and your mind gets easily confused by people's opinions, then you won't actually move on as fast as you're supposed to be moving. But if it's a long distance relationship, you do have time to think and to see where your life is going. There's individuality in distance, other than you guys being together all the time. You can't. You love each other, yes, but it's like you're already married.
Yeah, I mean,
you understand what I mean?
Understand what you're saying.
So there's individuality. You build your life knowing that I do have a person that I talk to every single day, and I love them so much, and I want to hear their voice before I sleep. I want to make sure they care about me. I care about them. But if it's a thing, Yahore, I don't want. I want my life to revolve around this person. Your life will pass you like this, and you're gonna ask yourself, "What did I do?"
That's true.
Hold yourself accountable as well.
No, that's true. You know, I think like, being a bit, selfish is good. Being a bit selfish is good. Because sometimes, you don't know people's hearts, you don't know how people are thinking. People are planning to, I already know it's gonna marry, because some people, they do that. They can be dating you for 3 years, but they know who they're going to marry.
They're hustling. They're hustling. You are the hustle. They're hustling you.
Yeah, you're literally being exploited then.
And I feel like also with the things we're exposed to in social media, being in a relationship is so hopeless. I feel like if you are on social media and you're like coming across all those toxic posts of Revenge Diaries and
What?
that's
What is-
Revenge Diaries.
What is
Don't you
this?
know them?
I don't know. What is this? What is that?
And you
I
would
heard
say,
about this, bro.
papa, and you would say,
Hey, nah.
you guys don't know.
I don't know.
Revenge
This
Diaries, couples exchange phones. If you watch, let's say maybe 5 episodes, you're gonna start
can you share one of them with us? I'm curious. I didn't know.
curious.
Yes.
Okay, Revenge Diaries. This other lady. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. This lady is from TikTok, by the way. I'm not taking the credits.
Yeah.
Watched it. This lady, I'm not sure if I'm gonna take it word for word, but this lady was in love with this other guy, right? And they stayed together. Yes. She helped the guy from like rock bottom, got him a job. He got a degree, if I'm not mistaken, and everything.
She
like
made him
more
a
like
man.
yes, made the guy a man.
He was a dog before that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's a dog, Marayo. But you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
But
yes.
yeah, and the guy, after he got like a big success, no, he actually, the lady helped him through getting an education. And then when he got a job, he started changing, started cheating. So what the lady did was, I don't know what she did. She actually planned, because he was cheating with 3 girls, ne? Through a surprise party, invited all those girls, right? And it's like, oh, hi. When he came, he was petrified. With these people are here. So he just acted like nothing happened. And then from then on, when they were having supper, she used to prepare food for the guy and herself and put the Retex on the table. Retex is a rat poison. And the guy used to be in that situation every single day. He lost the weight. He did. There's a Revenge Diaries for you. If you watch
this is
those,
dark, you know that, right? This is dark. Please send us the link. I want to see, but this is dark.
no problem. No problem. But they actually she actually went through that. And then what she told the person who was telling the story to us, right? I'm not done. I am not done. He does not know me yet. And you're actually thinking, how? How? So guys, before you actually go through things, just know.
I'm scared.
I can't say know your partner, but you won't know your partner like that. Just respect the partner. There's nothing wrong with living an honest life and fearing God. Because why would you cheat on your woman if you don't, like, if you fear God? Why would you do that?
Yeah. But some people, they like to test. They like this adrenaline, you know. That they like to feel like that close
If you
to
want
die,
adrenaline, go bungee jumping.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yes.
That's fair.
Please,
that's fair.
once.
I need to accept that one. But because it's
Yes.
would you do bungee jumping?
Yes. But not this young.
Not this year.
Not this young.
It can be next week.
Even next week, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why
Yeah,
not?
we can.
Oh man, why not? I mean, this is a good idea, you know.
Bungee jumping, yes.
It's better than cheating, right?
You rather.
You see?
Another thing, I feel like psychology works.
Yeah.
Because let's say you are in a relationship, right? And you do know the boundaries. I always say this, that if I'm in a relationship with you, I have to respect myself first before I respect you.
Yeah.
Because let's say you mess up and then an opportunity to cheat presents itself.
Yeah.
I'll have to be faithful to myself and not you, because at that time I'm angry at you.
That's true.
You understand what I mean?
I understand what you
So
mean.
psychology actually works like that. You find maybe in the workplace a girl, you make a friend, let's say you make a friend with a girl. You guys talk about, let's say, things, and then it gets to your romantic space and everything like that. You open up and it's like, Kanchan, how? And then one day the girlfriend did something, and then now you call this girl, because she's the only friend that you know that can actually do that. But you don't know what she's actually planning. Because she's a girl, she can think like a girl, and she's been advising you, and the advice have been working. But now you go to her when times are dark, because what? Friends are few, and she's the friend that's present when friends are few, right?
Yeah.
And when it's like that, then what's going to happen if she does not have the greatest intention for your relationship and does not respect the fact that you're in a relationship?
That would be crazy. That would be insane, actually.
You
That would be
understand?
dangerous, actually. In fact, that would be dangerous.
So would you blame a person who's insecure to be like, I don't want you to be around girls? Because it's the thing, yeah, the discussion of, you must trust me.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you're angry at me and I know you have like friends that are girls?
I mean, I think like at the end we shouldn't just date insecure people.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. But I can agree with you. But this thing, like this will never end. People will always be there. So choose wisely. I know some people, they like this adrenaline again, as I said before. They like to be
just
there.
go bungee jumping.
Yeah, but these people, they don't want bungee jumping. They like
They
this
just want
time.
to
You
go
know.
there.
You know, I know someone to say like my favorite sport is taking someone's girl. You see, I know it's crazy.
Whenever I hear that, I just hear hurt.
Yeah.
Like I get hurt on your behalf because how did you get there?
You see, I don't know how to get there.
Shame.
You see. But moving on to another topic, you know, like I was checking, like scrolling again, procrastinating as usual. You know, I'm sorry.
I feel like your procrastination has good effects because we have something to talk about.
Yeah,
You understand? It's benefiting us.
It's benefiting us. You see. And I saw like a post of like how to become an ethical rich person.
Okay.
You know. And it was giving like this thing, like this coach stuff, you know. I do this, you know, I do this, ethical, whatever. And then, okay, the post as usual is interesting, but I love the comments. I'm for the comments, right?
Yes.
People comments are the best. I don't know if you comment, but I'm for the comments. So I'm seeing like people arguing, you know, people complaining about, you know, like, let's not lie, you know, usually people have something against rich people.
Yes.
Rich people, millionaire, billionaire.
Yes.
They have this controversy. Not everyone. Usually people tend to appreciate more like people who became rich, but they came from poverty. But everyone knows this person. You'd be like, they come from the hood, you see? Came from the hood. People know kind of experience, right? And people are like, basically, they born like in a privileged situation, you know? So there were like this controversy like in the comments, but between all the comments that I checked, there was one comment that caught my attention. There is no such a thing as an ethical billionaire.
I think it's a generalization.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's like a stereotype?
Stereotype. I mean, what point? Like, okay, it could be a stereotype as well, but at the same time, everyone
does have their own opinion, right?
Yeah, but I said like it can be a stereotype, but that's the funny thing. Everyone wants to be rich.
Yes.
So I want to know like exactly what you really think about that. Do you really agree with that or something like that?
Okay, it depends on how you view ethics, right?
Yeah.
Ethics is just doing things the right way, right? But with the opinions of other people present, it's more of a thing. I don't know. Let's say McDonald's.
Yeah.
Right? McDonald's. People just like McDonald's. The owner of McDonald's is, I'm sure, a billionaire, right? People do have something against McDonald's, the franchise itself, that they sell overly processed food, and it's not good. And that, like, I feel like there's comfort in ignorance that people do not want to take that into consideration. They still go to McDonald's knowing that it's overly processed and it might have adverse impact on their health. You understand what I mean?
I understand.
So, ethical billionaire, yes, just spread awareness. And at the end of the day, it's the choice of the people that are supporting the billionaires, because there's no billionaire that is just a billionaire. Most of the time is businesses, corporates, all of those things, apps, all of those things. It just spread awareness and to see whether or not people, but they will always support. So I'm just saying, there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. Yes, I can say yes, it's true, but it depends on which
which side
you're on, because it's easy for you to be ignorant, and in ignorance there's comfort.
Yeah, you can be broke and ignorant. And you can literally be this, for real.
Yes.
But like about this comment, for this comment, I just have one thing to say. Like in this life, there is no such a thing as an ethical area, literally anything. Because in this life, nothing. If you really want to go deep to the context, nothing is ethical. Let's just go deep. If you're working for McDonald's, you're complicit to poisoning people.
Yes.
If you work in construction, you're warming the environment, You're ruining the environment, So if you're working as a nurse or as a doctor, you're complicit to health systems that, how health system works, you see, health cares and all that. So in almost everything, if not everything, people does, it can be unethical. So I agree. I can agree with this thing of there's no such a thing as an ethical billionaire. So what? Because at the end of the day, everyone is chasing the bag as well. Everyone is somehow trying to become unethical. But they will not tell you that
out loud.
They will not be like, no. But everyone wants to. I'm not saying like everyone wants to be a billionaire, but every person is striving their best to improve their lives,
But I feel like I understand where this person is coming from now, because it's like they want to spread awareness.
Yeah.
That do not be fooled. Not all that glitters is gold.
Yeah.
You understand?
I understand that.
Not everything that seems to be okay. I'm gonna be deep. I'm gonna go deep, ne? This thing of the Diddy saga.
Yeah, that's a crazy example.
So many years we thought that person was a but turned out to be.
Diddy's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, yeah, it's too much.
You understand?
I cannot protect him. That's kind of isolate. Even for as a black man, I cannot even mention even the grace at this point.
So I'm just saying, not everything that glitters is gold.
Yeah.
Not everything that looks amazing.
But just as you say, I think like this thing can also apply to any other status level, because I stopped at like measuring like what is being ethical or not, since I also started seeing people who like behaving like a rich person, basically the stereotype rich person, ignorant, what, but they are not in that position, which makes me think like because there is that thing like there is not like such a thing as rich people are humble. I think people don't become humble when they turn rich or something like that. This is something that comes from natural, comes from inside of you. How you grow up, because you can become rich and being humble. You can be born in a rich family and be humble. So I don't like to measure things that way. So for me, this is a very complex topic that would take like perhaps 10 episodes to talk about, and that would be actually open to do that, But for now, I think like we're coming to we're coming to the end of our podcast, you see. So, and I really appreciate your presence, I appreciate the topics that you brought up here, what we was discussed. So how I'd like to know exactly what are your last thoughts, and advice, if you want to send a message to someone, you see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last word. It's just get to know yourself.
Yeah.
Because you are the most interesting person you can ever come across.
Thank you so much.
Because you have access to yourself.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Also to the listeners and the viewers, you're the most interesting person that you can ever come across, because you know your motives, you know what drives you, you have access to yourself. You understand?
Yes.
Embrace what you have. Don't hide behind a mask. If you have a gift, please do the most with it. Okay. You have a purpose on earth. Don't become a replica. Hey, don't do that. You are way too special to do that. So those are my last 2 words, guys. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
And no message for, I don't know, for someone else. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate my mom.
What's your mom's name?
My mom is Toro Modise.
Yes.
My sister's Atlacha Modise. I love her so much. And my niece Coco. And my whole family. I love them.
Oh, that's so cute. I'll be part of your family, perhaps.
Yeah.
A little brother, another little brother.
My younger brother, Kosi, I love him as well.
Oh, that's so cute, actually.
Yeah.
I think like you take care of your family. That's good.
Yeah.
That's very proper. And I appreciate that. I appreciate people like you.
Yeah.
But thank you so much again for being part of the episode. We would love to have you again, you know. And for the audience, please don't forget to drop the comments, drop the likes, you know, subscribe to our channel. We are available on YouTube, Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, YouTube, if I didn't say before. So please don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate, you know, we also release content on the Instagram that we're under the name of Varsity Voice. Please check it out and please wait hope for the next episode. Peace.